Hello. Hello, good morning, and welcome to the 15th Global Peter Drucker Forum. Creative Resilience, Leading in an Age of Discontinuity. It's this time of the year, not only the festive season, but it's this time of the year when we're almost approaching its end and you start looking back and reflect. What were the most difficult challenges that you were facing, personally, in your teams, in your organizations? And how did you deal with them? Did you stop doing something, change direction, look for a new way? Chances are that on your path of dealing with those challenges, you strengthened your resilience. And chances are that you found that in this rapidly changing, ever so complex world, we will not solve our problems with the same mindset that created them. In order to find new ways forward, we have to strengthen our creative resilience. Our ability to react to challenges in an innovative, maybe unconventional, a bit new way. So that when in a few weeks the year comes to an end and you stop looking back and start looking forward to the new year, we will be able to envision new paths that will help us to navigate through this age of discontinuity. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Katharina. It is my great pleasure to welcome you for the third time as the chair of the Drucker Forum here in the beautiful Hofburg in Vienna. And just to double check, who's been to the Drucker Forum before? A lot of people. Who's here for the first time? Oh, wow. Ooh, amazing. Good to have you. I hope we're going to make a good first impression on all of you. Well, to the ones who've been here before, you might be aware that we have a bit of a ritual on how we start our conferences and how we actually arrive in a space consciously. And that helps us to actually increase our attention span, memorize things better, and in the end make our time more worthwhile. And the way how we do that is we first remember we've got a body who's here now for 2 days in those beautiful halls, and maybe we just start to slowly roll our shoulders a bit and just activate the body so we don't forget about it in the upcoming 2 days. And if you're a bit more brave, you can also start stretching a bit without hitting any of your neighbors. Can be a nice icebreaker though, so could be beneficial. All right, just kind of activate that a bit. And as we're at the body, it might also be good to just take a moment to focus on our breath, and we can do that together consciously. So I invite you to just take a deep breath in through your nose, and then for a second, just hold your breath and give your lungs a really good oxygen boost before you breathe out through your mouth, a bit longer than you did the breath in. And we just repeat that once more. We breathe in, we hold it, and we breathe out again. And it might just have helped us to arrive here a bit more consciously. And as we're sitting here together, maybe have a look around at who else is here. Who are the faces that you already know? Who are the new faces? Maybe smile at each other if you dare to. Look at each other for one moment long enough that it gets awkward, because this is also the moment when you start connecting with each other. Right. Which does not mean you can already talk to each other. You will have a lot of time to do that in just a second. But maybe let's just have another look of who's actually in the room. Who are the people who live in Vienna? Wonderful. Look out for them. These are the city guides. Okay. Who are the ones who live in Austria? Well, not too many. These are the ones that can help you with the weird German that we speak here. All right. Who are the ones who are coming from Europe in general? Yes, quite a lot. Anyone who's made his way from outside Europe? Wonderful. Thank you for making your way, the ones in the backs. Like, yeah, we haven't found our way to the front yet. It's great to have all of you here, and just to give you a few more informations. We welcome all of you here live on site, and we also welcome our viewers as we're currently live broadcasting to Drucker Forum TV. We're also going to broadcast the closing tomorrow, and other than that, we have a great program lined up for our viewers that you can find on our website. To the ones who are here, if you want to contribute to that TV program, make your way to the red carpet, which will be hosted by my lovely colleague Christine Brogiato, and you can give her some interviews there. And also, in case you have FOMO, fear of missing out anything, don't you worry. Both the Drucker Forum TV and all the parallel sessions will be recorded, so you can rewatch it later on. And with this, there's one thing that I wish for you for those days. It's a small word that makes all the difference how you go through life, through a day, and through a conference like this. And that word is curiosity. So next time you find yourself scrolling through your phone, maybe just ask yourself, what am I curious about right now? Is it this session that I'm listening to? Is it another session that's happening right now? Is it the neighbor that I want to have a conversation with? All of that is okay. Just make sure to follow your curiosity. In the end, it's your time and it's your life. And we really hope that the next 2 days will be a valuable contribution to it. And with this, it is my great pleasure to welcome the head and heart of this event here on stage. Please welcome with me founder and president of the Global Peter Drucker Forum, Richard Straub.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. A very warm welcome to you all who are here in person and to those who are participating via the live stream. For me, it's a very solemn moment to open the 15th Global Peter Drucker Forum. It all started, obviously, in 2009, on November 19, 2009, and this was exactly the day when Peter Drucker would have reached his 100th birthday. He was born in Vienna, as you know. And you may ask, why did this Centennial Forum, which was meant to be a commemoration of Peter Drucker in Vienna, because he was born here, why did this become the Global Peter Drucker Forum? I will tell you the story. Participating in this Centennial Forum was Peter Drucker's widow, Doris. And Doris liked, obviously, the Vienna environment very much. She liked in some way what we did for the Centennial Forum. And at the end, she came up to my wife Ilse and to me, and she said, well, if you continue to do this forum on an annual basis, we will stop all the other Drucker forums that we have around the world, including the one in the US, on the Claremont College, where Peter Drucker was teaching. I mean, that was a great proposition. We thought about it, and we thought we couldn't reject it, because the first forum had already shown the convening power that the name of Peter Drucker, the ideas of Peter Drucker have. And so we decided to commit. We committed to the forum. And with a tremendous team, with tremendous partners, with outstanding support of media, we made it to this point, to the 15th forum. This is why I would really like to give a great thank you to Doris. Thank you, Doris Drucker, for having changed our lives. I can say that for my wife, Ilse, and myself, and for hopefully many others. Doris was also a friend and mentor during several years. She lived until she was 103 years old. And she said, don't drive the forum just as a commemoration of Peter Drucker, as an archive, as a museum, stand on his shoulders and look to the future and what's required in the time ahead. And so we took this to heart. And I would only like to announce that at the very end of this forum, I plan to make a major announcement for the next years. We are now looking to the 20th forum, and we have something which gives us a guideline how we move to the 20th forum. So please join us also for the closing session, and that's the second session, by the way, that will be live streamed. So also those on live stream will have an opportunity to be part of this announcement. So in this sense, I hope I see you again then, and thank you for your attention. It is now my great pleasure to invite our guest of honor on stage, His Excellency Jaideep Mazumdar, who is the ambassador of India to Austria. And I would only mention, we have a special Indian connection. Over the years, we had outstanding Indian speakers here. We had the opening of the first forum by C.K. Prahalad, who was one of the great management thinkers. And we look to the future also, to strong cooperation with a continent that I would see as a continent of hope in today's difficult time. Mr. Ambassador, the stage is yours.
Thank you very much, Mr. Straub. Namaste and good morning to you all. I am very privileged to be addressing the 15th Peter Drucker Forum, although I am not sure how qualified I am to do so. Apart from the fact that I do have an MBA, for whatever that is worth, and the fact that Drucker spoke of people-centric management. And the country I represent, there are a lot of people. Today, the most among all countries in the world. And to speak before this galaxy of corporate and thought leaders is daunting indeed. I am told I have 5 minutes to speak on Peter Drucker and on India. This too is a daunting proposition, but let me try. My friend Unni Krishnan tells me that Peter Drucker was prescient about India. He apparently said as early as 2003 that India is fast becoming a knowledge powerhouse. I tested ChatGPT to find out all that Peter Drucker said about India, and failed to elicit anything. It appears that one still has to read books, and that is a good thing. On a more serious note, it is true that India is fast growing and Indians have always been innovative, but let us see how we seek to do things differently. Take the example of the digital revolution. Digital India is growing at a phenomenal pace. And this growth dividend is not geared for the benefit of only the shareholders of a few mega corporations of the digital world. The digital public infrastructure that has been put in place is an open source infrastructure designed to liberate the creative energies of the Indian people. With a median age of 29 years and an internet user base of 700 million, it is in every sense a young democracy of the digital world. And this infrastructure is of the people, by the people, and for the people. This infrastructure not only provides direct services to citizens, eliminating, to put it politely, rent-seeking, but has resulted in creating the third largest startup environment in the world with over 110 unicorns valued at $330 billion, many of them based on this infrastructure. We are offering this open source digital platform to all countries that seek to have it, because we believe that the digital world, much like the real world, should belong to the people. And that is why even our cell phone companies in India offer data at a few cents a gigabyte. So when we talk of the world of tomorrow, it will increasingly be a digital world, one where artificial intelligence permeates every aspect of life, and hence the concerns and the attempts to develop national policies governing AI. The overwhelming consideration in the governance of AI has to be AI in the service of humanity. God forbid it is the other way around. And what about the individual? Drucker said that success in this knowledge economy comes to those who know themselves, their strengths, their values, and how best they perform. This also happens to be the essence of Indian philosophy and practice. Know thyself, look within you. This is essentially what Indian philosophy and practices of yoga and meditation offer. Pandemics and human conflicts reinforce our ancient Indian belief that we live in an interconnected and interdependent world. It is impossible today to think of safety, security, and prosperity in isolation. Every day we are reminded that what happens elsewhere in the world has a direct bearing on ourselves. And in managing today's world, this belief is captured in the ancient Sanskrit expression, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. The world is one family. And from this sprang the theme for India's presidency of the G20 this year. One Earth, one family, one future. To this end, we successfully lobbied to bring the African Union to the G20 table and to espouse the causes of the Global South. And as the chair, India's international agenda was people, planet, prosperity, peace, and partnership. I think Peter Drucker would have approved. I thank you.